In this lesson, we will customize the AutoCAD user interface in order to match the settings in the textbook. The first thing that we will look at is the color scheme. AutoCAD comes with two different schemes, a dark scheme and a light one. By default, it's set to the dark scheme, but I will change mine to the light scheme because it seems to present a little better. Changing the color scheme is completely optional. Feel free to change it if you want your AutoCAD to look just like the textbook. To change the color scheme, I'm first going to get into the Options dialog box by right-clicking anywhere in my drawing window and selecting Options. In the Options dialog box, I'm going to select the Display tab, and then immediately below that tab is the color scheme. As you can see, it's currently set to dark. I'm going to set mine to light, and then I will click Apply. And you can see those changes reflected in the ribbon. Next, I'll click OK to close the Options dialog box. By default, the command line is a floating toolbar. It can be docked by clicking and dragging the edge of the toolbar down, and you can see the shape change. Simply let go, and it is now docked. You can also resize the command line by clicking and dragging the upper edge. I recommend displaying 3 lines of the command line. This is because some commands have several different options that require 3 lines in order to see them all. Next, we will turn our attention to the status bar. The status bar has several different options to aid us in drawing. There's a couple that are not displayed by default that we want to turn on. In order to do that, we're going to click the Customize button in the lower right corner. At the very top of the menu is Coordinates. We'll select that to turn our coordinate display on. And a few down from there is Dynamic Input. After selecting those two options, you can simply click out in the drawing window to close the menu. If you take a look at the status bar, you will now see the coordinate readout. This is handy as we learn to draw with coordinates, but also because it helps us get a feel for what types of units are being used in this drawing. Also on the status bar is the Dynamic Input function. This is a function that we will be turning off. Simply select the button to turn it off, as it is on by default. Additionally, we will turn off every other option in the status bar. Each of these will help us to draw more efficiently, but since we're just learning AutoCAD for the first time, we're going to turn them off so that they don't get in the way. And this represents the user interface that you will see in your textbook.